unofficial visitor on the space station. It'd be a lot more fun if we were on the real thing, though, Zachary, because it would be a weightless environment called microgravity. We'd be floating. Everything floats, which means that nobody can ask you to pick up your room, Zachary, because nothing hits the floor, right? But on the flip side, unless you secure all your stuff, it won't stay where you put it. So if you find that you're missing your pencil or toothbrush, you'll probably find your missing items at the end of the day stuck in one of the filters, the station's air rejuvenation system. And humans living in space are like fish out of water. Space is a hostile environment for human beings, and that's why the space station has all the necessary life support functions to keep you healthy. But even with all that, the first day or two in space, some astronauts don't feel well. They come down with space adaptation syndrome or space sickness. So each astronaut gets their own personal emissions management system, which is a fancy way to say barf bag. Zachary, you're only going to need to use your EMS the first day or two you're up there. And if you need to use it, just be sure to get everything in the bag, because if you don't, you know what's going to be floating around in the module. Yeah. All right, Zachary, let's say you come in after a long spacewalk and you're tired, you just want to get some sleep. If you just close your eyes and go to sleep, you're going to be floating around bumping into switches and other astronauts. So each astronaut gets their own sleep restraint unit just to hold them in place while they're sleeping. Go ahead and hop in here, Zachary, and I'm going to tuck you in a bit. Hop right in there. You don't want to do that? Okay. Well, if he would get in here and he would put his arms through there and I'd zip him in, and he would definitely admit that it's pretty weird sleeping like that. Zachary, you think that'd be more weird if you were up there? Yeah. But you have to remember, in microgravity, go ahead. In microgravity, there's no such thing as right side up and upside down. So there's no floor, ceiling, east or west. So on the space station, you can have astronauts sleeping here, 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 even right where I'm standing. They all feel exactly the same. Zachary, go right ahead and work out, because that was definitely the next thing for you. One of the negatives to living in space is that microgravity reduces muscle mass and bone density. It's kind of an accelerated aging process. And to counter this, the Expedition 38 crew on the station has to work out for 2.5 hours a day, every day, on a variety of similar equipment, which includes the treadmill and the ARED, the Advanced Resistive Exercise Device. That's what you see on the video on the back wall right now. Zachary, I know you're upset because you won't reach the pedals, but that's okay. You showed what working out was. Come on over here. Let's go on to the next thing. I can't stop and help you out because we got a time limit here, buddy. Stand right there on that plate. See that? That's it. Stay right there. I'm going to open this up and pull this out. See if you can tell me what this is. You know what this is, Zachary? No, it's the toilet. How about that? Now, I'm not going to ask you to demonstrate this in front of everybody. It's not that kind of show. So you just stay right there. I'm going to tell you how it works. Now remember, there's no gravity to hold you down. So things are a little different. You float over the float restraints. You put 1 foot in each, and then you take these brace units that are on springs. You put those across your upper legs, and that holds you on target, so to speak. And then when you're sure you're in the right spot, you press a button in the back to start the suction. Yeah. And then you go. And it's really important that you do everything in just the right order, too. Of course, we can't use water in the space toilet, and we use suction to do the job that gravity does here on Earth. So suction pulls the solid waste away from your body into a container. Later, we dispose of the solid waste, but we save the liquid waste. Zachary, I need your help. Hold this up for me, please, and show it to everybody. Thank you. Water is a precious commodity on the space station, so we recycle all of it. So, Zachary, your liquid waste is your urine, your pee. It goes in there. It does. And it ends up right here. You drink it. Do not try this at home. But you do. You drink it again and again and again. Doesn't that sound refreshing?
Delicious.
Y'all just didn't know space life was the glamorous, did you? All right, Zachary, you can put that up for me. Thank you very much. You know what, though? Having a closed-loop system will allow us to travel farther in space. In fact, we're already using this technology here on Earth, too. Not just to recycle water, but also to purify water and save lives. Zachary, you're in the perfect spot. Stay right where you are. Just turn around this way, because I bet you want to wash your hands now, right? And since water is so precious on the station, the astronauts use antibacterial hand wipes to clean their hands. There you go. Get your hands good and clean. They use giant full-size wipes on their bodies and a shampoo developed by NASA called no-rinse shampoo. They do look forward to having a real shower when they get back home, though. Ooh, they miss that. I'll take that whenever you're done. Thank you, sir. We'll put that right there. So we're going to close this up. And Zachary, I want you to come with me down here to the galley area. This is where you'd be hanging out with your fellow astronauts, floating around, talking about your day and preparing your meals. Hey, look, come on over here, Zachary. We'll talk about this. Because these days, astronauts can have all kinds of tasty meals and beverages just by adding water. Zachary, I want you to feel that. Feel how hard that is? That's macaroni in there. But after you add the water to it, it gets real soft, like it was just cooked. So, Zachary, we're on the International Space Station, right? Yeah. So, do you know what kind of water we're adding to our tasty meals and beverages? It is indeed water. Do you remember we were just down there, we were talking about the water. Where does that water come from? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're actually in space right now. It's kind of hard. He's only 4. Kind of hard for a 4-year-old to get. It's actually recycled pee. Just add water and enjoy.
Yeah, man.
First on the space station, everything goes floating around. They put Velcro on all the food packages. It's also on their clothing. This is macaroni and cheese. You like macaroni and cheese? Me too. Let's see a show of hands. How many of you like macaroni and cheese? Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? I just can't have it very often because it always goes right to my thighs. I know. All right, Zachary, you have demonstrated sleeping, exercising, going to the bathroom, personal hygiene, and food preparation. There's another very important part to your training for today. The International Space Station is not just a place to live. It's a space laboratory for new kinds of research that is impossible to conduct in gravity on Earth. Zachary, you're going to demonstrate how some of this research is done. So, I need for you to stand right there for me. That is perfect. Turn around, face everybody. All right, put your arms at your side. Look straight ahead. Now, Zachary, look straight ahead. Real important now, don't move, okay? I'm going to scan your body. Don't move. Scanning your body. I got that side done. Good job, Zachary. Stay very still. I'm going to do this side now. There we go. This just hurts for a second. This leaves a small permanent mark. I'm done. Zachary, you okay? You are? Do you need to check yourself out? I never know where that mark's going to be. You good? Yeah? All right. Let's see how you did. Oh, it came out really good. You did a great job. All right, now, Zachary, come on over here. I'm going to send you back down to your seat now, because from down there, you're going to be able to see what we're going to do with your body scan. So let's be very careful going down the steps. Hold on to the rail there. Can you do that? And just push on that gate and it'll open up. Look at those big steps for him. But Zachary, you have to keep paying attention, okay? Because you are still in training. All right. While the system is processing Zachary's body scan, I think I need to have a sip of this refreshing recycled water, because all this talking makes me a little thirsty. Excuse me a second, I have to undo the straw. Ooh, it's a little tangy. You know, here on Earth, gravity keeps this tasty beverage inside the pouch. But if you take gravity away, look what happens. You see, with gravity gone, surface tension becomes the dominant force. Now notice when two blobs of water collide, they merge into each other, forming a bigger blob. Physics appears to behave very differently in microgravity. And then when it hits an absorptive surface like that towel over there, the winking action powerfully pulls it into the towel. It's sort of like a sponge. Well, cheers. Zachary, where are you? There you are. I'm going to see if your body scan's ready yet, okay? Let's see if I can pull it up. There we go. Wow, you grew. Now here's what happens when astronauts like Zachary travel in microgravity. All the fluids in your body move up from your arms and legs, which makes your face puffy and your legs thin. This condition has a highly technical name. It's very scientific. It is called chicken legs. Your bones lose calcium and your spine expands up to 2 inches. Also, in microgravity, your heart shrinks a little bit. Don't worry, Zachary. Once you get back to Earth, your heart gradually returns to normal. But as for the calcium loss and some other things, recovery is a bit more difficult. And that's why our astronauts, like Zachary, are such willing test subjects, helping us to understand how microgravity will affect future long-distance space travelers. In other words, before we can send humans to Mars, we're going to have to invent a way to prevent osteoporosis. Biological processes aren't the only things that are different in microgravity. Chemical reactions behave differently too. In fact, I want to show you something else. Here, look at this. Whoops, hang on a second. There we go. Now, notice how a simple candle flame burns here on Earth. You see the shape of the flame? It burns in a teardrop shape. Well, do you ever wonder why? The fire makes the air hot, so it rises. And this causes cooler air to rush in to take its place. This process is called convection. And it is what gives flames here on Earth the shape that they have. Rounded at the bottom and pointed at the top. But in microgravity, heat cannot rise. So there is no convection, no airflow. So what does it do? Well, as you can see, it burns in the shape of a globe instead of like that. And get this, it burns more completely, much cleaner, and more efficiently. Having a laboratory in microgravity will allow us to find out why it does this and how we can get it to do this here on Earth. This is important for future engine designs. Our microgravity research on the physics of combustion will lead us to more efficient fuels and less pollution. So as you can see, microgravity is an excellent environment for conducting experiments we simply cannot do here on Earth. I have another example for you too. You know, here on Earth, it's difficult to combine large amounts of lead and tin. That's because the lead is heavier than the tin is. So it sinks to the bottom while the tin rises to the top. They do not like to mix. They tend to separate like oil and water. But in microgravity, lead and tin can easily be mixed, forming a new alloy that can be used to make parts for all kinds of electronic equipment. Things like your computers and your mobile phones. It's very useful, and it is something that we cannot make here on Earth. The microgravity environment of the ISS is also a unique laboratory for medical research and development. Let's just say that you're a scientist here on Earth studying a really nasty bug or disease. You'd have to grow lots of cells to experiment with. Well, the problem is, in gravity, living cells that are grown outside the human body cannot grow very large, or their own weight crushes them and they die. But cells grown in microgravity thrive. They grow quicker, larger, and in 3 dimensions. This is a huge medical breakthrough. We can now grow large quantities of cells, and the data can be studied by scientists here on Earth. In the coming years, you can expect to see developments in disease control, genetics, biochemistry, and organ transplant, all because of our microgravity laboratory. And who knows what we're going to discover next. So as you can see, the International Space Station is already improving our lives here on Earth right now. But what it has to offer our future is even more exciting. The ISS is a stepping stone in our journeys off the planet, beyond lower Earth's orbit. One day we will go to asteroids, to Mars, and yes, even to the stars beyond. Pretty sure we have some future explorers in the audience right now, too. All right, Zachary, you have another very important thing to do, sir. I need you to come stand right there for me. Stand right down there. That's perfect. Turn around and face everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for our newest astronaut, Zachary. You did a fabulous job. And Zachary, I'm going to have you meet me at the gate in just a minute. I have a special gift for you for completing your training. To find out more about the ISS, be sure to check out the fabulous exhibits behind you, in there, and on the other side of the wall behind me. Thank you for joining us here, and enjoy the rest of your stay at Space Center Houston.